Hey everyone, there's a brand new version of ETA Hen as well as Item Flow that just came out. And one of the biggest features in that is support for the PS5 3.x firmwares. Now, what I thought that I would do was that since I do have a 3.20 system and that currently it isn't tested, I thought that I would go ahead and try to play a PS5 game backup. So let's just go ahead and let's start with that. I'm just going to go back to the web browser here. And once we get to the browser, I'm going to go to just my host. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and inject ETA Hen 1.3b. So a bunch of different things. Looks like it just happened. So it just created the ETA Hen configuration file and a few other things. Okay, so now we are definitely jailbroken. So let's go to settings and let's go to debug settings and we'll go back to game and I will go into package installer and we'll go ahead and get version 1.04 installed here. Okay, so now that we have it installed, let's just go ahead and run it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and press that button. We see the PID 101 has been granted a jailbreak, and now there is the titles that we have. So let's go ahead and let's try a game that I know that should work with version 3.00. So let's go to change out path, and then I'm going to go to my USB 0, and we will just pick Sackboy for now. So I'm going to select that with the square. And again, I'm going to copy that out folder to my data. I'll create a folder called games here. And now I'll just press the select folder button, which is square. So I'll let this copy over and then I'll be right back and we'll give it a shot. Okay, and so finally that game has been copied over. So I'm just going to press OK there. And now I will change the out path to where we just copied it to. So we'll go back into data, games, and then select Sackboy right there. And now I'm going to press launch. And so here we go. This is a game that is Sackboy that is running on a PS5 3.20 system. Now this one does take a few extra seconds to load up, but I believe we're going to be in very, very, very great shape. And we absolutely are. And so from here, what we could do is we can go back to our home menu, go back into settings and go to system software, console information. And we can see that right there, this is running on 03.20. So very, very cool stuff. So one other thing that I did was I went ahead and I installed Grand Theft Auto 3, and Grand Theft Auto 3 is also running perfectly fine. Now, there is one thing that you will need to take a look at before you decide to copy over your own game to the PlayStation 5. Let's talk about that right now. So inside of each game dump that you get, you will find this file called param.json. So let's go ahead and let's just go into one of these. So we'll go into Alan Wake and we'll go into the SCESYS folder. And right there it is. It's just called param.json. Now, this is super important, mainly because with looking at this, we'll be able to get a little bit of information depending on whether or not this game is going to run on a 3.x system. So this game that I have loaded right now is called Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Down in the very bottom, there is two fields here. There is a required system software version, and then there is an SDK version. So this one, for example, is setting on 4.00 for the required system software version and for the SDK. Now, this is a game that somebody like Cyber or Echo Stretch would be doing a backporting in order to get this to run. So if I tried to copy this to my 3.20 system, this one would not run. So the next example is this one, which is called the King of Fighters. This required system software version at 4.00, Autumn's Flow is actually going to patch that to run on whatever the latest version of the PS5 is that is running it, which means that if we take a look at Grand Theft Auto 3, it required 4.03, but as you saw just a second ago, this one ran perfectly fine on my 3.20 system because this is patched by Items Flow. Now, what can't be patched is the SDK version. So, since Grand Theft Auto 3 required 3.00, this one played perfectly fine on my 3.20 system. Now, if we take a look back at King of Fighters, what we'll see is that this one actually requires an SDK of 2.00. And what that means is that this game would run on a PS5 3.x. If we go back to that Alan Wake remastered, what we can see is that for this one, the required system software version is 3.00 and the SDK version is also 3.00. So this game would run. So I hope this information helps some of those out there with a 3.x system get just a little bit more out of their PlayStation 5. So thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out.